quite sure what to anticipate or what type of personality I'd be engaged with. I told Dan the first time we spoke, I looked him up before we connected and I was like, oh yeah, we got a player here. We got a guy that operates. So I was really excited that, and it even fit in what it was that we were trying to do. And I think we have evolved exponentially through this competition.
I do a lot of mentoring with startups. And so I try to give you the tough love of this is what other people who are not going to be as nice are either thinking or going to say to your face. And so maybe think about those things. But at the same time, knowing that it's not easy to hear that, it's not easy to deal with those challenges. My expectations are always for me to learn, to be inspired. Entrepreneurs are the modern business warriors. They're out there changing the world in a very lonely, sacrificial way. And so those that can kind of get up in the morning and they come on the calls and they're excited, despite the fact that some major snafu happened or the server went down or whatever, I'm always inspired by those folks because I know they have the passion and dedication to see it through. And so if I can help them avoid pitfalls or get some hacks that let them jump 3 steps ahead, I'm always excited about doing that.
I was really excited to chat with him and just to listen and to get that tough love. He fed me with an enormous amount of information that he didn't just force feed it. He said, okay, here it is. Now you go find it, right? So he kind of pointed in a direction.
I think there's an appetite for being coached, right? And I definitely come across some entrepreneurs, you know, their resolve is built on the smartest person in the room, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And
I can't
that's
say
okay.
That. I'll never say that. No,
yeah, that's okay. It can get you far along. Those are harder to coach. I think that the best mentor relationships happen where I can ask questions and give guidance, but not answers, because my job is to try to create a framework of questions and guidance that can lead them to a place where it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's go that way and see what the answers evolve. And I think, Scott was definitely a great example of that. One of the strengths of his company is the story is strong. And so that's a great foundation to work from, especially for a pitch competition.
According to the judges, we got third based just on the story alone, based on Dan's advice, where he's like, hey, listen, let's front load this with your mission here, and that's what we did. Thankfully it paid off. I was excited because we needed direction. We have this mission and now we've got this company, and now we needed to kind of look over the horizon. With the Venture Forum, it helped actually shape where we might be heading or where we might want to steer the company. So that was really exciting. Now, not only do we know how to tell our story better, but now we know how to speak to the metrics about how it's going to make money and support our mission. I got to speak with one of the judges after the competition. The judge I spoke with, happy to just give me the tough love. When you can put yourself in front of peers, when you can put yourself up to be judged, based on your performance, and to get third in front of a nice field. I mean, there's some really competitive and smart people in there. It feels like we've got something smart on our hands. So it's motivating for us.
From my own personal selfish point of view, it's definitely an uplifting experience for me. And I love the fact that you can sort of vicariously be a part of somebody's story, a small part, right? Where you're saying, hey, I had a conversation with them or a couple conversations with them, and now look where they are. Not connecting the dots necessarily to my conversations with them, but just that I was a part of that journey and it was fun. I definitely look at it from that perspective. I didn't have the opportunities that I had as an entrepreneur without other people helping me. And so I feel very strongly that we have to give back. We have to reach back or reach out to folks to be helpful. Time is valuable. And so if you can give it with an open heart, I think it's a worthy thing. And startups are built around uncertainty. And so the more inputs you can get to nullify some of that uncertainty, especially uncertainties that are just uncertain maybe for you as the entrepreneur because it's something you haven't experienced yet, the other people have, I think it just allows for people to be more successful or at least to chase their opportunities with more clarity. I feel like that's an important role for all of us. I live in the startup world, but like in corporate America, in education, in healthcare, I mean, everywhere there's an opportunity for us to be, helping and to share wisdom, right? And wisdom is really just knowledge that comes from experience. And the more you do stuff, the more you just have that. This definitely was a great competition. It seemed like it was well designed to not just be a dog and pony show, as they say, or to just create this sort of like artificial presentation that the startup does to try and compete, but it has nothing to do with like their business progress. I felt really good that this was a program that if Scott hadn't placed in the competition, that there was still benefit to the whole experience.
There's certain things that we did with the company during that time frame, as we did the first pitch and then we went into the second pitch. There's things that there's iterations of the company, like I could point to that, it forced us to pull some triggers, make some decisions, and we have a lot of momentum coming out. We feel so good, and it was such a worthwhile investment of time for us to get involved.